Hey guys, it's Gus, and I'm on the PlayStation 4 preview server, and that's why my character looks so weird. But I'm working on my Module 28 build, and I'm trying to figure out how much of an improvement to my overall damage will be these enchantment upgrades to my build. And it's looking very, very significant. So my day one new dungeon build is going to be 94,000 item level, and I'll be putting that build out shortly before the dungeon comes out. But it's going to be 94,000 item level. And when we upgrade these 12 enchantments, we're going to get a 4,000 item level increase. What that equates to is a 4.255% overall damage increase just from the item level, which is huge. Because when you get to end game and you start min-maxing your build, getting a 1% damage increase is a huge milestone. This is going to be 4.25%. That's very significant. And our weapon enchantment is going from a 10% base damage increase to a 12% damage increase. And that's multiplicative damage. So your damage will increase by 2% from just that. And then if you can fit in the extra stats from the lightning enchantment, that's going to be another big increase. Because right now, your crit and accuracy with a mythic enchantment will get 2.5% of each stat per stack, and you can have three stacks. And that's being increased to 3.6% per rating per stack. And what that equates to overall is a 3.3% additional accuracy and a 3.3% additional crit strike. And assuming your accuracy's at 86.7 and you can fit in that 3.3% perfectly, you're going to get a 1.62% damage increase from that accuracy. And assuming your crit severity is capped and your crit strike's at 86.7 and you can fit in that 3.3% crit strike perfectly, you're going to get a 1.668% damage increase. So altogether, this is going to be a 9.546. So just over a 9.5% overall damage increase. And that's not including a couple other things. That's not including your utility enchantment. Oh, I'm not sorry, not unit utility. Your bonus. If you're using recharge or AP, you're going to get a 1% AP and a 1% recharge. It's very hard to calculate how much of a damage increase that will be, but it should equate to something. And that's not including the extra ratings you're going to get, or not ratings, your extra little tiny bonus to your stats you're going to get from your improved utility. And that's also not including the 20% increase to the lightning does a 15% magnitude once every 10 seconds, and that's going to be increased 20% to 18 magnitude once every 10 seconds. And I'm telling you, it's very, very insignificant on that one. Some ACTs I've seen, the lightning enchantment has literally been 1/10,000th of 1% over their overall damage. So improving 1/10,000th of a damage by by 20% is still it's incalculable. It's such a small number. So we're looking at basically a 10% damage increase. If your item level is currently less than 94,000, you're going to get more of a damage increase. And if your item level is greater than 94,000, then obviously you'll get less of an overall damage increase. But for me, this is going to be very significant. What it's coming out to is if you have to spend the 12 million AD to upgrade these enchantments, you're basically paying 1.145 million AD per 1% damage gain. And some people are going to say that's not worth it to me. And yeah, that's totally fine because everybody's in different scenarios. I run almost exclusively unscaled content, where the more damage I have, the better the run's going to be for me and the rest of the team. I'm pulling my weight or more than my weight. So this is totally worth it for me, but it's not going to be worth it for everybody. And again, 12 million AD, and that's assuming you don't have a single RP, a single gold, a single cohort, or a single glyph of potency in your entire inventory, right? So it's probably not going to cost most people 12 million AD. Uh, yeah, but now I'm planning ahead on mod 28 and I'm looking at almost a 10% damage increase. Now, this is going to be offset. If you're using Vecna, Vecna's getting nerfed, and that's going to be like a 3, maybe 4% damage loss. And then also, if you're using Mirage, they're talking about nerfing those too, so those might be offset. So this may be a wash. You know, if they nerf the Mirage and they nerf the Vecna, and you use both of those, and that's an overall damage loss of 10%, and you're just gaining 10% back from these enchantments. That's another way to look at it. But not everybody has Vecna, and not everybody uses Mirage. So this is going to be very interesting. More to follow if I find out any more information on these enchants, but 10% is a huge, huge number. God, getting a 1% damage gain at end game is a huge deal, let alone 10%. Holy shit. So what that's probably going to mean is all the currently existing content in the game is going to be much, much easier for anybody who gets the mythic enchants. And but we don't know what the future holds. This new dungeon may be built around the new celestial enchants, and if that's the case, and you don't have them, oh boy, it may be a rough ride. Or maybe it's built around the mythic insignias, and so it will be a challenge with the mythic. And then if you have the magnificent or celestial, I mean, it might be a cakewalk. We're gonna see. I can't wait to see the new dungeon as well. If you got any questions or comments on the enchants, please do so below. Stay class, Neverwinter. See you soon.